Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, agents. I'm Manicron. This is The Division, a game aptly named for the large rift being created by the developers to separate themselves from the community who loves to play their game. Today's Let's Talk is going to be in response to an email I got from someone who disagreed with one of my previous videos. You see, Mountie Curl always reads your emails, and if I have time, I respond in an email to you, but this email was coming from someone who disagreed that everyone being equal in the DZ was the wrong route to go, so I wanted to hear him out and see what you guys thought as well. Now, just so it doesn't fall on deaf ears, I think people who disagree with me feel that the DZ is their playground and that griefing people is the reason to continue to play this game. And for some of them, it garners a sense of fun at the expense of making people want to quit the game. Sadly, when no one is left to play, they too will complain that no one is playing and they are bored, yet they're the reason no one is playing in the Dark Zone to begin with. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody's going to quit the game because of them. They're just going to quit playing in the Dark Zone because of rogues. I fully endorse making the Division an equal playing field because I think skill should be more important factor in PvP than your ability to farm loot and get good rolls on your gear. So without further ado, friend to the Mountie Squad, Angelos writes, I think your view on being equal in the DZ by removing gear sets or making some kind of arena is not what's needed, in my opinion. Just an FYI, if you send me an email getting to the point right away, it's going to grab my attention. This is the perfect example because now I want to know why he feels and why he's compelled to be the complete opposite of why my opinion is. I'm going to very minimally respond to his email because it's long and he took time to write it. So I want to give him a voice and the community a voice to respond as well. So let's continue on with this email. The problem with people that are complaining about being killed a lot have a different playstyle of the person they are fighting and don't want to change up their gameplay in order to outplay the players that they are up against. Now, you may say it takes no skill to play with a shotgun, but it does. However, those that I see die from a shotguns always say it's a cheap shot. Cheese, in quotation marks, and always when you watch the videos where their counter to a straight to shotgun is to face tank them with an SMG. I mean, WTF. If someone kills me with a shotgun, I'm not going to run back straight to them and try face tank them with my SMG, because I'm just going to die again. People that complain are the ones that are running straight towards shotgun players and dying and wondering why rather than play it smart and make distance between each other and take out the shotgun player from a distance where the shotgunner can't do DMG to them and try to face tank instead. I agree. If you run up someone with a shotgun, then you are most likely going to get killed by the shotgun. I assume that face tanking is using your face as a tank. I've actually never heard of this term before right now, so it's new to me, but I agree. If you run up to someone with a shotgun, you're going to get killed unless you have a plan. But most people's plan is pulling the trigger until they are dead. However, most of this is about running up and face tanking. There's nothing that you can do. There's no other gameplay. There's nothing. You call it distance, but if you don't go up to that person and you start shooting them, they run towards you. And there is no gun in the game that is strong enough to kill somebody from 100 miles away while they're running up to you, especially if they're, an overpowered rogue. So while I agree with you, I completely disagree. Yet, people complain that shotguns are OP. I mean, what? Stop trying to face tank a shotgun player, back up and use a sniper, or if you like SMGs, put on optimal range on the SMG and gain more damage range at a distance. I think you can gain 20 to 30% with mods. And Predator's Mark II piece bonus gives another 20%. You can get plenty is my point. Therefore, you stay out of the kill range. Sure, you might get caught here and there, but you will have the upper hand. So I don't disagree, but the shotgun with the sentry gear is pretty OP in my opinion, but you can step away from it and at long range. That's the thing. The problem is that the player has the ability to come up to you and shoot you 3 times with a pistol in the head, marking you without going rogue. And that's BS. That's the first issue with this argument. The second is that you can walk up to someone and shoot them because they can't do anything to them unless they are willing to go rogue. That's the other issue. What are you going to do? Run away from everyone you you see coming at you because they could be rogue. That's stupid. That's why the Dark Zone is stupid. And you're gonna keep running forever every time you see someone, and then they're just gonna follow you. Rogues are a-holes, and if they don't go rogue, they'll just follow you around until you get into a fight and then shoot you then. There needs to be a recourse for players to defend themselves from people coming up to them and keeping them from playing the game. This is why I'm in favor of selecting either rogue or not rogue at the beginning before you even enter the Dark Zone. It's just too easy to go up and blast someone who's unsuspecting. Another way to resolve this is by making it so that you do very little damage before going rogue. If you shoot someone, you do like a very 10% damage, and then you go rogue, and then only then will you be able to shoot at full power. There should be something that makes it so you can't shoot somebody at full strength and kill them while you are not rogue. There needs to be something in there. There are so many ways to outplay players in the division, but those that complain stick to face-tanking style out in the open. In lack of better words, don't play their game, but outplay them. This is a big overlook to people who are complaining. No one wants to change their playstyle of face tanking. That's what I see everyone's counter 90% of the time. The reason for this is you can't kill anyone in a decent time frame. Most will just run up to you and kill you because you have no way to kill someone who's running the meta. You can try, but out of all the fights that I've seen, rogues will just run, roll around, and get on top of you. PvP in this game is a cluster, and the equality factor will make it so you have to use cover as opposed to running around in the open. There isn't a playstyle that allows for anything but shooting at close range in this game because you can't kill someone running at fast enough and outgear you. That's just not what it's going to be. Sure, back in the day, you could actually, this is why rogues were so mad at the explosive bullets, is because you could shoot them one time and they would go down and they didn't have the chance to run up on you. Now, that's all gone, and you can do it, except unless you're running Reclaimer, because you can stagger them and they have no way of getting up to you. That is why people are so mad about Reclaimer, is because it stops rogues and it stops other people. It's really, a two-way street, and pretty much the Dark Zone should just be the Reclaimer zone and the Sentry zone. That's really all it is. Time and time again, that's the playstyle I see from players. Move left to right while face tanking with an SMG, moving closer to the player. Just crazy. You would not do this in PvP to a level 35 shotgunner. Why then do it to a player? The shotgunners rush at you like this in the PvE stuff. They rush at you. Are you even playing the same game as the rest of us? Shotgunners rush up on you. You have no choice but to engage at close range, and you must use fire bullets or some other stagger type ability that rogues are like, oh, you guys are pussies because you use that stuff in game. I have killed one level 35 shotgunner by myself, and the fight was because I was hiding in cover in a narrow area and the shotgunner couldn't jump over the wall. Even then, I had to heal no less than 5 times before bringing him down. This game has no other way to play because rogues will run up on you like this. You simply cannot play the game any other way. You can't play at a distance. It's either run up and dodge roll like this is some Dark Souls clone, or you have to run up and drill a person down at close range. I've never seen a fight where 2 teams go at it from long range or even medium range because you can't kill someone at range because they'll just keep hiding, healing, and retreating, and it'll just keep going. Abilities make it so PvP has to be quick, and you have to risk the other person, or you have to risk the other person healing, and you can't kill them. The DZ is equal to some extent. Anyone can use the same set of gear. Bullshit! Not everyone has the same gear. Not everyone has the same lucky rolls. Yes, you can get the same gear, but it's far from equal. Equality means everyone has a fair chance at killing the other guy. This has never been, nor will it ever be, something we see in the Dark Zone in its current state. If you like this, you would see rogues pissing and moaning on the forums, and we wouldn't see anyone complaining about rogues because everyone would be in the same boat. There would be equality across it. Rogues would have the same equal chance. You know what we'd hear complaining about is 8-man gank squads because rogues are assholes and they group up and they find other little assholes to help them. The only way to make the DZ fair is to remove gear bonuses, remove weapon bonuses, remove armor, and anything that provides an advantage. You get a weapon, you get a base armor stat, and the ability to aim. That's what PvP needs, and that's the way to fix this, is that you need something like this. If you don't, then make it an arena or something like this. The problem I see is this is my point, is not that gear or the way the DZ is set up, but to me the issue, in my opinion, is the brackets. There is not enough brackets in the game to separate the strong versus weaker players, or rather separate the level rank you sit at. It's too much of a gap from one bracket to the other, and even in the same bracket, there's too much of a gap. Now, I somewhat agree. The problem here, again, is that you have the asshole rogues who feel like if they're not in a fair fight, if they're undergeared and they want to be little asshole rogues, then something is wrong, and they lower their gear score to be able to go down and grief people at lower levels. The problem isn't the brackets. It's kids thinking that if they don't have good gear, then they go out and they need to go out and wreck people if they do. Then they whine and cry when you kill them. It's amazing. I see it all the time. You kill a rogue and they come up to you and they start talking trash because you killed them. It's ridiculous. There needs to be steps in between in such a complex game as The Division. Furthermore, I really think there should be a solo player server only where no groups are allowed. Wrong again! You're addressing the symptoms of the problem. If you have a server where only solo players are allowed, solo assholes will team up and go after people. It's not simple as that. You will always have assholes in the game, and you have to fix it so other players have a chance at beating them. And you don't have a chance if you don't go rogue often. Now, once you give them the ability to have power over another person, they will take that and run with it. I see this in so many other games where it's a free-for-all, yet people team up and kill other people, which in turn gives them the advantage. As for having a PvE only DZ, let's be real, here's not a good idea. Not enough in there to do, but if it does happen, then there needs to be AI running around a lot more acting rogue. I just don't see how this will work. The Division is not COD. If you want that kind of playstyle, then go play COD. Okay, finally I agree with you on one thing. If there is a PvE only DZ, yes, there needs to be some sort of AI adjustment so that they're going around pretending to be rogue, or there's some sort of adjustment to make the AI harder. There needs to be a challenge there. But this whole challenge of players just running up and just, sneak attacking, it's BS. And as for this not being COD, any conflict I see in there is basically like a COD free-for-all. Like, I see people running around like it's COD, like rolling and jumping and spinning around like they're gonna do a headshot with snipe shot, whatever it is. It's really ridiculous. This is like COD. They've turned it into COD, whether or not you think so or not. I think it's come down to so many YTers complaining about the game where it's killing it more than doing it good, if I'm being really honest here anyways. You're right, you have the right to your opinion. However, at the end of the day, no one but the developer and the little a-holes in the Division are killing the Division. And the developers, they're doing a great job all by themselves. They don't need the rogues to help them get rid of people. The developers are getting rid of the Division players by doing the following. A, not giving a shit. B, not listening. C, not testing the patches before deployment. D, not addressing exploits. F, not fixing bugs. G, not keeping the game, or E, whatever it is. I'm not even counting by now. Not keeping the game consistent. And finally, not communicating with the community outside of Hamus and Nachai, which, that's their jobs and they do it well. Sadly, the information passed isn't what we need. It's what they want to give us. And we need something more than what they're giving us, because right now, the developers, I just saw a tweet from Hamish that basically said tomorrow's state of the game is going to be basically just catching up with stuff. You know what? That's garbage. You have been gone from holiday for a long time. You owe the community an explanation on why you're turning your game into a steaming pile of shit. I know that it's your job to do this, but you need to come at us with something more than just, hey, I was on holiday, sounds good, yay. You need to come at us and figure out, we need to fix this. I don't know if you guys even think there's a problem in the game. Seriously, everybody, even the top YouTubers who you guys brought to E3 with you, Skill Up, they're making videos on what's wrong with this game, and you guys are just sitting back there sipping Mai Tais on the beach like there's nothing wrong. If you were in the US, you would have all been fired by now, because nobody takes a vacation when your game is in the shitter. Nobody. sure, I'm being a little harsh on you because this is really making me very frustrated to actually have to deal with this. The YouTubers are not the problems. The YouTubers are the ones expressing what the community is feeling. And right now, they're feeling like they're giving up. And there are people out there, yeah, sure, there are people out there that don't think that there's a problem. But, all right, I got to stop it right here. Well, I'm going to stop this right here, yeah. Because we're out of time, and there is another half of an email to go through. I kid you not, there's another half. Now, I may be hard on Angelos in this, but he has his opinion about this stuff, and whether I think he's wrong or not, he still represents a segment of the population who in their minds believe they are right, and they don't agree with me, or they agree with other YouTubers who make Division content. So thank you all for tuning in. I look forward to wrapping this up with part 2 tomorrow. Until then, if you found this video entertaining, if you agree with me, if you agree with Angelos, leave a comment down below in the comment section, drop a like on this video, hit subscribe, and let's keep the conversation rolling, because that is how we're going to fix this game, is but through conversation, through mediation, and getting our opinions across to all the people. For all of us here at the Division Let's Talk, I'm Mountie Carl, and we'll see you undergeared agents in the underground. Agent out.